Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, and even reality TV. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out when we go live, when we have breaking news, or when we upload. So I want to do a quick recap of last night's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. We are winding down, but I'm getting tired of them. Oh, talking about Louis, talking about Louis. We've seen Louis go up to Teresa's doorstep for like the millionth time this season. Just get to it. Anyways, I'm going to be kind to Teresa. I just reminded myself she's also one of my Taurus sisters. So, there's a loyalty there. There's a loyalty. We're Tauruses. Happy early birthday, Teresa. I believe it was also Louis' birthday. Two Tauruses in a relationship. I could already tell you this is not going to work out. Anyways, I digress. Look, we want the best for Teresa. But before we even get to that, let's talk about Margaret. Margaret, as you know, has a new book out. So we get to see the promotion. We get to see, well, not the promotion. We get to see the promo photo shoot and cover shoot for her book. I like Margaret. I love Marge Sr., but there's not a lot there in regards to storyline this season. Let's be real. Like, I like her part of the cast. I think she's great. But if Teresa and Melissa and Joe were off the show, what would we really have? Jennifer, though, I feel like is definitely growing in regards to her storyline and what she's sharing. I don't feel like she's sharing anything when it comes to her personal stuff, but we see all of her family stuff, which is, I guess, also part of her personal stuff. She's still struggling with her relationship with her mother and father, her father living with her. And I'm team the mom, because the mom is very upset that Jennifer brought up the parents living separately during her Turkish tea party. And I kind of get it, because it's such a personal conversation to have, and everyone's different. Not everyone wants to be on reality TV. Not everyone wants their business shared with a group of ladies, even though they're sharing their personal business. And I feel for her to sort of centralize on her mom in that moment, and knowing her mother probably wouldn't like something like that, says a lot to me. And I get why the mother might be upset. And the conversation that they had on the phone was just sort of like, Jennifer didn't understand. And I think Jennifer is a daddy's girl. She looks at her father in a certain way. Her mother, I think, had to raise her siblings and her while the father went to work. So she had to be mom and dad at home a lot of the times. And this is what I'm assessing from what we see on the show. But I also feel like Jennifer could have handled the conversation that she had with the mom better. She could have been like, Mom, I didn't mean to put you in that position. I apologize. Because at the end of the day, you can't help the way that the mom felt, because it was her personal story. You didn't have to have the conversation in front of all these ladies, and also in front of all of us. Let's not forget that little element too. It wasn't just because it was in front of the ladies, but it was also in front of us. Even though the mom, I'm sure, knows that this has been part of the storyline, but I don't know. Jackie, again, we have three families here that, well, technically two, because I'm going to give Jennifer a pass because I feel like she's sharing a lot more and it's a little bit more interesting and worth talking about than Margaret and Jackie. Jackie, when I saw Jackie talking to Evan, and Evan looked like he was getting ready for a run or for the gym, I was like this, where you going, Evan? Where you going? You going to the gym? Anyways, Jackie, an apple orchard for your birthday? And there was a wine tasting. The wine tasting didn't look very luxurious. Look, I get it. Jackie is boring. I think Jackie's family's cute. Do I think Jackie should be on reality TV? No. The apple orchard was a cute idea. That's more, I don't know. I just didn't feel like that was a birthday celebration idea, something that you take your girlfriends to do. Even the wine tasting. Look, I don't even like wine, but I've been to a better wine tasting than she has. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. I thought it was boring. Melissa getting a phone call that Joe was in pain, fell on the floor. I do believe it was real. I don't believe that was a made up storyline. We've been talking about their made up storylines over the season. I do believe it was real. I've heard a kidney stone passing is the worst pain, but I did think it was kismet that David was the one to help him. And he's helped. David's been very involved in Dolores's friend groups and helping them out during situations. He helped Frank Catania when he was injured. I think David's a good guy, but I said this multiple times. Just because someone's a good guy doesn't make them an ideal match for someone else. And look, I agree with the ladies. Is David the perfect guy for Dolores? Maybe not, but I also think they need to lay up off of Dolores. And I think Dolores didn't have an issue with them voicing their opinions, but voicing their opinions at a party and taking a poll on her relationship, I got her there. I was just like, Black Dolores, I get why you're upset because these are supposed to be literally her close friends, especially, Joe Gorga, Teresa, Melissa. These are people she's grown up with for a very long time. And I'm sure she's building relationships with the other ladies. So for them to have this big conversation about her when she's several feet away, I get why Dolores was upset and why the Patterson came out in Dolores. I don't mind it. Look, is Dolores bringing a lot this season besides this relationship issue? Not necessarily, but as I've said multiple times about some of these cities, what I love about Jersey is that there are true hardcore friendships that have been there for a couple of decades. So I do like Dolores in the mix of that. And I do think she deserves to be a housewife because of that. And because she does have a relationship situation going on. Frank and Tanya and, David. I think David's a great guy, but is he what we want for Dolores? That doesn't matter what we want. It matters what Dolores wants for her own life. Dolores last season wanted a ring. This season, she doesn't. She has a right to change her mind. I support Dolores in this conversation. It was cute to see David, Frank and Tanya, the kids. Dolores has a very beautiful, loving family. It was nice to see them at home, the birthday cakes. I love her kids. I love how they gave a shot at Frank and Tanya about his philandering ways. Come on. That's why I always think the relationship between Frank and Dolores is really a friendship. I think they have passed that whole romantic look. If you've ever been in a relationship, once it's over and you're completely done, but you're able to still have a friendship, you would understand their relationship. I don't see them falling back in bed together. I think Frank would easily because it's Frank. And we'll get to Teresa in a second, y'all. I do want to talk a little bit about the conversation that Joe Gorga and Melissa had in their kitchen after the whole kidney stone situation. So they do have the conversation because, in the last episode, Joe Gorga says that Dolores is a broken woman. And he's like, I've known this woman before I even knew you. I can talk to her that way. And I believe that. And Dolores said she didn't mind what Joe was saying because that's Joe. She gets that he's ignorant. So he didn't mind that. But it leads into the conversation of the big conversation they've been having all season is that Melissa is evolving. Melissa wants to do more in regards to working. Joe wants the old woman that he used to know. I do believe that this is a genuine story. Is it hyped up for a storyline? Of probably. But I can tell when Joe Gorga is hyping up a storyline versus what Joe really feels in regards to this. And I really felt in that moment he meant what he was saying in regards to what he wanted. But we've seen this multiple times, and I hope they do get to a space where Joe understands if you want a happy life with your wife and you want to continue to be married to her, you have to allow her to have something outside the family. We've seen this already for so many women. Women have to have their own self, their own thing. They can't just be the mom and wife. They have to have their own thing if you really want them to be happy in the long run. And I get it. She's a housewife. She's doing appearances. She has envy. Are they truly huge, successful things? Maybe not, but they mean something to her. And that's the only thing that should matter. All right, let's talk about Teresa. First of all, I always love seeing Teresa and her kids. The girls, Melania was a terror, but now to see her as a teenager, she just seems so laid back and cool. And I like the interaction and that they're in a better space, and this is a lesson to anyone that's in a relationship that's not working. This could be you if you just let that go. Sometimes you just have to let things go and your entire life will change. And it seems like that's what's happening for Teresa. Do I think Louis the best guy for her? I didn't love how Joe Gorga and Melissa Gorga were saying, I think this is the one. Mind you, at this point, this relationship is only a few months in. And knowing Teresa is a Taurus, I can't tell you the amount of times I've dated someone and everyone around me was saying, oh my gosh, is this the one? Are you guys like, how serious? Literally is how everyone is around us. But us Tauruses are like, slow it down. Slow it down. And if you saw the tarot reading that we did with Femme Tarot about Teresa, she says Teresa's being very cautious. Teresa's, and that's a Taurus's nature. I sense that Teresa is reading the tabloids. She sees the smoke and she's being very cautious. And I've said it before, and Femtaro said it in the reading. This relationship isn't going to be one that goes down the aisle, but things can change, situations can change. But I just don't see two Tauruses being in a relationship lasting longer. I do see them getting along because I've dated a Taurus before, because there's just so many similarities. And you've heard her talk about Louis in this episode on how everything just seems to work and they really understand each other because they're both Tauruses. So that makes sense to me. Do I see this relationship going down the aisle like Melissa said? No, this is just the beginning. And I see one thing I do know about a Taurus is that the fact that she's downplaying it says to me that she does see the smoke. She does see, yes, he's a great guy, but I don't know if this is exactly the guy. And then when people are hyping the situation up, it's so crazy to me because I was in literally the same situation before. Everyone was hyping it up and I was downplaying it because I didn't know it. And when we know it, we will be like, this is the guy. This is the guy. And I don't think this is the guy for Teresa. But what do I know? What do I know? I mean, I want the best for Teresa, especially because she's my Taurus sister, and also especially because we've seen Teresa go through so many different things. So we want the best for Teresa. So we will be watching this. This was a to be continued. If I see Louis walk up to that damn door one more time. Anyways, guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're almost at the reunion. Not sure what the reunion's going to talk about. The reunion's only going to be 2 parts, that's all we need. People are talking about, oh, they cut the season short because there wasn't a lot there. But I have to say, it was a decent season. For a pandemic, they did multiple trips. They've had multiple situations. Jersey's entertaining even when there's not a lot of drama. And I'm one of those people that doesn't need a lot of drama in my reality shows as long as everyone else is somewhat interesting and there's a chemistry. We love the husbands of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. They were just on Watch What Happens Live and got their own taglines. And we love some of the characters and the ladies of New Jersey. I do think they need to do some shifting and recasting a little bit, and not centralize so much on Teresa's storyline, because as I said before, if Teresa's not there, then what do you have? And you never want to pigeonhole your show in that way. But as I said before, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live, when we have breaking news, or when we upload.